Hello everyone! In this video we're going to draw a Ceratosaurus. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the front part of the body. To draw the circle, first make two small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make two more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video to draw at your own pace. The circle doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're having trouble drawing it, just trace the outer edge of a coin, a bottle cap, or anything else with a circular edge. To the left, make a small mark for the first part of the back portion of the body. Connect the small mark to the circle using curved lines to finish the guide for the back portion of the body. This guide should be similar to an arc on its side. Pay attention to how big this arc is in relation to the circle. On the right side, draw another circle as a guide for the head. Use the 4 marks method to draw this circle too. First, make 4 small marks to indicate the sides of the circle, and then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. This circle should be slightly smaller than the first circle. Draw the head circle slightly higher than the body. Inside the head circle, draw a horizontal line. This is a construction guide that will help you place the facial features later on. To the right of the head circle, draw a short horizontal line for the first part of the top jaw. Above that, draw a curved line to finish the guide for the top jaw. This guide should be similar to an arc with a flat side. Below that, draw a similar shape as a guide for the lower jaw. Make the lower jaw thinner than the top jaw. Under the body, on the left side, draw a long angled line as a guide for the hind leg. Bend the line a couple of times in the middle to indicate the joints and then again at the bottom for the foot. This line should be very long in relation to the body. Draw another long angled line under the body as a guide for the other hind leg. This line should bend to the left at the top and then down and to the right at the bottom. The two lines should intersect under the body. Under the front part of the body, draw a short angled line as a guide for the first arm. Pay attention to how this line bends to indicate the joints. To the right, draw a short curved line as a guide for the other arm. Connect the head to the body using short lines to create the guide for the neck. The shape of the neck should be wide. Starting on the top left side of the body, draw a long wavy line as a guide for the tail. Pay attention to the length of this line in relation to the body. Below that, draw another long wavy line to finish the guide for the tail. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small circle for the eye. Place the eye on the top right side of the head. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape. Make the sides of the shape pointy for the corners of the eye. Inside the eye, off to the side, draw a tiny circle for a highlight. In the middle of the eye, draw a small circle and shade it in for the pupil. Draw a couple of curved lines around the eye for wrinkles. Keep these lines close to the shape of the eye. Add a few more curved lines farther away from the eye for structure. On the top right side of the eye, lightly sketch a short angled line for the first horn. Draw the horn on top of the guideline. To the left, draw a few short angled lines to create the thick brow. When you get the shapes right, darken the lines. Add a short line below the horn for structure. To the right of the first horn, draw a short triangular shape for the other horn. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shape right. Add a line at the bottom for the base of the horn. Farther to the right, draw a bigger triangular shape for the main horn. Use angled lines as you draw the horns for a rough texture. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shape right. Add a few lines at the bottom for the base of the horn. Darken the rest of the arc to create the top jaw. At the bottom, draw a wavy line for the mouth. Extend the line for the mouth so that it's inside the head. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the line when you get the shape right. Use the arc at the bottom as a guide to draw the lower jaw. Sketch the edge of the jaw along the basic path of the guideline. Extend the line to the left so that it's inside the head. Use a wavy line as you darken the shape. Draw a short line to the left for the skin between the jaws. Darken the bottom part of the guide to finish the shape of the lower jaw. Extend the line to the left so that it's inside the head and then curve it up to finish the jaw. Draw a short angled line for a crease. Draw a series of small V-shaped lines along the top part of the mouth for the top row of teeth. Make the teeth different sizes. Draw a couple of short wavy lines near the bottom for the visible part of the tongue. Add a few more short triangular shapes for the bottom row of teeth. It's okay if you overlap a few lines. Use the remaining shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the head. Darken the top edge using short angled lines to create some spikes. Draw a few short lines near the bottom for wrinkles and veins. Inside the top jaw, draw a small thin shape for the nostril. Draw a few more short lines inside the head for the bony structure. Use the long angled line that's under the body as a guide to draw the hind leg. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. The top part of the leg will be inside the body. Make the leg wide at the top and then gradually make it thinner toward the bottom. Use curved lines as you draw the edges of the leg to indicate the muscle structure. At the bottom, curve the shape to the right to create the foot. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. Curve the shape of the leg around the guideline to create the joints. Make the shape thin at the bottom for the foot. At the bottom, draw 3 small thin shapes for the toes. Curve the toes slightly to the right. On the tip of each toe, draw a pointy triangular shape for the claws. Use the angled line on the left as a guide to draw the other hind leg. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. Don't overlap the first hind leg as you draw this leg. When you get the shape right, darken the lines. Draw a small angled line on the left side for the top toe. Bend the shape to the right at the bottom to create the foot. At the bottom, draw 3 short, thin shapes for the toes. On the tip of each toe, draw a pointy triangular shape for the claws. Use the short angled line under the front part of the body as a guide to draw the first arm. Just like with the hind legs, first lightly sketch the shape of the arm around the guideline. Curve the bottom part of the shape to the left to create the fingers. When you get the shape of the arm right, darken the lines. Use curved lines to create the muscle structure. The top part of the arm should be inside the body. At the bottom, draw 3 thin shapes that point to the left for the fingers. Make the tips of the fingers pointy for the claws. Use the line on the right as a guide to draw the visible section of the other arm the same way. Sketch the arm and fingers lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shapes right. Make the tips of the fingers pointy for the claws. Now use the remaining shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the body. Use short angled lines as you darken the top edge of the body to create some spikes. Make the spikes smaller the farther to the left they are. Darken the big shape on the left to create the tail. Don't overlap the legs and arms as you darken the underside of the body. Now erase the initial guidelines. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Don't worry about erasing all of the guidelines. It's okay if you leave some behind. Redraw any of the final lines that you may have accidentally erased. Now shade your drawing. Nobody knows exactly what Ceratosaurus looked like, so you can shade your drawing however you'd like. For this look, use a medium value across the entire body. Shade lightly at first and gradually build up to darker values. For light values, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder for darker values. Don't shade too smoothly. Shade using small scribbles to create a rough texture. Don't overthink it as you add the rough texture. Just draw small scribbles all over the body. Draw the lines so that they contour to the shape of the body. Add a striped pattern using a darker value. Use a darker value throughout the body too to create some shadows. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. Pick a light source as you shade so that the shadows are consistent throughout the body. Here the light source is coming from the top, so most of the shadows will be on the underside of the shapes. Draw a shadow at the bottom using a medium value. Shading can be time-consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Keep shading until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the Ceratosaurus. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com where every step of this tutorial is broken down into an individual image. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.